2, 3, 2, 1.
This is Sean Payton, head coach of the New Orleans
Sean
Saints.
Payton,
head coach
What's with
of the
this
New Orleans
Saints?
What's with this Saints?
This has to
Happy
be the
Cast.
worst Saints podcast.
This has to be the worst Saints podcast.
Ralph can't say
in the
anyone's
world.
name right.
Ralph can't say
Andrew
anyone's
doesn't
name
know
right.
football.
Andrew doesn't
Everyone
know
has a hard
football.
time listening to Dave.
Everyone has a hard time listening
And is
to
Kevin
Dave.
even there tonight?
And is Kevin even
The
there
audio?
tonight?
With
The
this
audio?
podcast, my God, the
With
audio.
this podcast, my God,
It's
the audio.
It's painful.
It's painful.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour
welcome
Podcast.
to another edition of Saints
Right now,
Happy Hour
it's me
Podcast.
and Dave. Andrew
Right now,
will
it's
join
me
us
and
shortly.
Dave. Andrew
His
will
video
join us
may
shortly.
or may not work.
His video may or may not work.
What do you want?
Hey,
This podcast is always
what do you want?
ramshackle
This
at
podcast
best.
is always ramshackle at best.
Dave, we got a lot to talk about. We're gonna
Dave,
wait.
we got a lot to
for
talk
the big
about. We're gonna
topic
wait
Andrew.
for the big topic.
But
for
I just want to start
Andrew.
off with this.
But I just want to start
I-
off with this.
Look, Drew
I-
Brees said what he said about the flag.
Drew
and
Brees
people got
said what he
mad
said
at
about
him,
the flag.
and he
people got mad at
apologized.
him,
And the poor
and he
man couldn't do his
apologized,
4th of
and the
July.
poor man couldn't do his
flag
4th of
tweet.
July flag tweet.
But I just want to say,
but
I
I just
draw
wanna
the
say,
line.
I
at
draw the
fucking
line
Vanilla Ice 2.0,
at fucking
aka
Vanilla Ice
Eminem,
2.0,
cursing him
aka
out.
Eminem.
Eminem hasn't
cursing
been
him out.
relevant since
Eminem
TRL was
hasn't
a
been
thing.
relevant
And if
since
not for
TRL
Dr.
was
Dre,
a
he'd be
thing.
pumping
And
gas
if not for
in
Dr.
Auburn
Dre,
Hills.
he'd be
I
pumping
draw the
gas in
fucking
Auburn Hills.
line
I draw the
at
fucking
Eminem
line
taking shots at Drew
at
Brees.
Eminem
That is
taking shots at Drew.
too much to take, and Eminem can take his white trash ass whatever rock he crawled out from under and drop that horrible song and go back under it.
Wow, you feel strongly about this. I mean, he really took a shot. It was really out of nowhere. He starts talking about, he made a reference to Lil Wayne, and he mentions New Orleans, and then he says fuck Drew Brees, just straight up fuck Drew Brees. So I guess Eminem did not take Drew Brees' apology to heart. I guess he didn't. The black arm and the white arm in grasping each other in unity. That picture. I guess that just wasn't enough for Eminem. And then when Drew later wanted to make sure that you could look in his eyes as he was apologizing. I guess that still wasn't enough for Eminem. So I don't know. I guess he's not buying it. He's not buying it. He's calling Drew Brees out.
No,
Interesting. I can't believe Drew. I mean, Drew. It's just funny that Drew Brees is now entering the American zeitgeist in this way that we would never would have imagined. I mean, right? I mean, come on now. Drew Brees now has Eminem saying "fuck Drew"
in a song now. Who would have ever thought anybody would have anything negative to sing about Drew Brees 3 months ago? You would have never thought that. You would have never thought that would have been possible. You would have been like, Eminem says "fuck Drew Brees" in a song. Oh my God! Who did Drew Brees kill? I can't believe that. That's terrible.
No, and by the way, everybody in the live stream echo fixed. Skype did a upgrade, and I forgot to double and triple check all my settings, of course, because that's how this podcast goes. But here's the thing: like, I don't like Eminem. I think Eminem is trash as a rapper. Now, granted, I'm not.
Okay, even back when 2000, when you were younger,
Yes.
you didn't like him. You didn't think him. That song where he samples that, I don't know what the hell. The one where the kid kills himself. He drives off the bridge or whatever. What song was that?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing.
It's powerful stuff.
Here's the thing. I saw him at Marconi Meadow when they used to have Voodoo Fest or whatever. And he put on one of the worst concert performances I have ever seen. Like, it was an abomination. And when I say an abomination, I mean him giving a shit. I mean the audio. You think the audio on this podcast is bad? At least the audio for this podcast, you're not paying for it. Well, some of you are, patrons. But you get my point. You get my point. So I'm just saying.
I was thinking, I looked it up. I'm thinking, he's from Detroit. He's probably a Lions fan. And so I looked it up.
And right now the Saints have the all-time lead on the Lions. 13. It's 13-12 to 1. There's one tie, but right now the Saints are up by one game in the all-time win-loss series. And so I think maybe that's why Eminem's pissed off, because his team is just not as good as our team.
Yeah, I just and the Eminem stands came in my mentions over the weekend. Oh my God, I called him Vanilla Ice 2.0, and they just went at me like nonsense.
First of all, that's an insult to Vanilla Ice.
It is.
Vanilla Ice is a national treasure.
Speaking of
Vanilla
Vanilla Ice,
the Teenage Ninja Turtle movies alone deserves an Oscar.
Well, here's the thing with Vanilla Ice. He was going to do a live show somewhere in Texas, and people were criticizing him, and like you know they're like they're only going to let 2,000 people in. And I saw somebody on Twitter, they said it when they're like, when Vanilla Ice is doing a live show during a pandemic, it's not because he needs the fans, it's because he needs that check, you know. so
and they're not. VH1 isn't currently filming any reality shows, so he can't be on anything like that.
No, he can't. He's got. I mean, you know, Miles got to get fed. Rhett's got to get paid. But here's speaking of the wrong.
You don't think he makes enough to live off of residuals from Ice Ice Baby?
No, because Queen gets a big chunk of that, man. You know?
Really?
Yeah, I mean that's under pressure. That's Queen's beat. They probably get at least half of that shit. The estate of Freddie Mercury, Brian May, whatever, man. But speaking of the Rona, the NFL announced they're not gonna have jersey swaps post game to protect players. They're gonna limit the rosters to 80 players. And the Saints sent out a letter this week, which kind of to season ticket holders, which kind of, Dave, we had been saying all along. Look, they're saying to fans, look, if you want to come to games, you can come to games, or if you want to do if you just don't want to have tickets this year and you want to just do a credit for 2021, that's fine. But I liked your theory of why they're doing that letter.
Yeah, well, I mean, basically, okay, so you're tarping the first eight rows, so you've got who knows, maybe 2,000 to 3,000 fans that you've got to relocate somewhere. And also, if they're going to let fans in at all, it's definitely going to be at a limited capacity, which means, every season ticket holder is not going to be going to 8 games in a season. They're only going to be going to like 2 games in a season. And so I think really what they want to do is any season ticket holder that is just decidedly not going to go to any game. They want to know that now. They want to just get rid of them, basically cut the fat, and that way that's going to reduce the pool, the amount of season ticket holders who they then have to divide up these games, and whether by lottery or whatever. So I mean, I think it's just from a ticket ops standpoint, that's what they're doing right now. But we still don't know whether they're gonna. I still don't think they're gonna. I don't think anybody's gonna be. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be like they're doing for soccer. No fans in the stadiums. They'll pump in crowd noise on your TV, and everybody will just watch from home, and that's fine. I will take that. That's totally fine with me. I will take that. Let's do it, but let's just get it over with. Let's just admit that that's what's going to happen.
Nice to join us, Jude.
Man, Dave is on a roll, huh?
He was.
Yeah.
Nice of you to join us, Andrew.
Yeah, I heard there's a show tonight or something.
Yeah, there is. It has.
I'm glad you have your headphones on.
Yeah. So
I was told that the audio last week was dog shit, and I should wear headphones. I don't know. I thought that, I don't know, YouTube would want to see my face without shit over my ears. But
yeah. Well, we had audio issues at the beginning of this show, which is par for the course for this show. I mean, the intro basically tells you what kind of audio you're going to get. If you continue on down the journey with us, you can't say you weren't warned. But Andrew, I was just ranting about. I drew the line at Eminem taking shots at Drew Brees at the top of the show. I said that's bullshit. Eminem is irrelevant. He's a trash rapper, and I won't stand for it. I won't. He's Eminem is garbage. I know a lot of people in the live stream, whatever, they like Eminem. You're wrong, all right? He's like the Bob Dylan of rappers, and Bob Dylan is trash too, all right? All
right, well, that's
my music takes.
But
Bob Dylan is trash. I agree. As a musician, as a music guy, Bob Dylan is the most overrated fucker in the history of music.
I'll disagree.
Yeah, okay, we'll agree to disagree. But anyway, here's my thing, man. Like, I don't know.
Can't believe you just shit on Bob Dylan. Jesus, you're going to hell.
I know.
You're going to hell.
Like, how could I possibly look? Whatever I say next, it's like, well, he shit on Bob Dylan, so you know.
Damn it.
How can I take anything else he says seriously, right?
Allie agrees with us.
But, you know, I didn't want to bring this up, but since you did, Ralph, you know, this whole Malcolm Jenkins thing, like, I'm starting to get a little tired of him. Like, I know he's beloved. I know he's a good leader. And, look, Black Lives Matter. I'm down with it. I like it and all that. But shit, man. Like, I just feel like, and it's just the shit that Drew Brees got, and deservingly so. Like, I actually thought he deserved criticism based on what he said and all that. But, man, the vitriol in the media with Brees. And now you look at what was said after DeSean Jackson's comments. Nothing. And you look at Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe said that Drew Brees should retire. And when he was asked about DeSean Jackson's comments, he said, I'm disappointed, but. And there was all this stuff after it. And, like, man, the double standard is clear. And I just think at this point we got to move on from Drew. I just think at this point, like, we have to admit that he's been treated unfairly in this whole deal. Like, he's apologized. People have said worse things in the media, and we're giving them a pass. And to me, that's inconsistent. It's bullshit.
Yeah. And it just gives me another excuse to say, fuck Eminem. I want my $75 back, Eminem. If I see you on the street, I will demand it back. And no excuses about how there's no change circulating through the economy because of the Rona. I want my $75 back.
I mean, is Eminem offended by DeSean Jackson? Because he should be. Because you know what? That shit is more offensive. It is. Drew Brees never said anything racist.
No, Drew Brees didn't quote fake Hitler. It was fake Hitler, actually. No. Hitler didn't even say it. And you know what?
Like, here's the thing. Like, Malcolm Jenkins, he said that DeSean Jackson and all this outrage is a distraction from what's really important. And to me, that's like you're moving the goalposts. You're picking what's important to you, and that's bullshit, man. And, like, I like Malcolm Jenkins, and I think his heart's in the right place. But for a guy he's more intelligent than that. He is.
They've managed
that was disappointing.
They keep saying DeSean Jackson's comments were a distraction, and they keep giving it more life. They could have just said, that's awful, DeSean Jackson. He shouldn't have said that. That is terrible. You can't say that about Jewish people. It's horrible, and really come down on him hard, and it would have been like a day and a half story the way the internet moves. But instead, it's going to last till August now. So
wait, Angry Ocho in the chat had mentioned an idea that gave me a good idea. We should come up with like a four-line rap verse, and then pay Sean Payton to read it, and it's like an anti-Eminem rap verse.
What's the
where he says something like "fuck Eminem" at the end?
What's the cost of the Sean Payton cameo now? Does anybody have that?
I don't know, but do you think he would say "fuck Eminem"? Do you think we can get him to say that?
I don't know. Connor Payton was talking to me and Andrew.
Let's do it. Let's backdoor it through Connor. Let's text. We have his cell number, right? Let's text Connor and see if his dad will do it.
Connor was telling us that, like, he was over at his dad's during the draft, and like he would see his dad and he would talk to him, and then his dad would turn around and be like, "Fuck you, Frank," and he was doing all these cameos, right? Like he had to knock him out. Remember that, Andrew? So so maybe if he's cursing at people, maybe he'll curse at Eminem. But the thing is, like, we got in at the ground floor for the Sean Payton cameo. That may be it may be like Floyd Money Mayweather prices now. Like it may be out of the Saints happy hour price range. But by the way, everybody, thank you in the chat room for saying you got your swag. We appreciate everybody. My wife did an amazing job of getting it all done, and congratulations to the 7 of you that may or may not get 2 boxes because I printed out too many fucking labels.
Hashtag on brand.
Hashtag on brand. And also, by the way, we're gonna give away one of them tonight.
E.T. does.
Andrew, I don't know how it happened, but me and Andrew were discussing like fun things to do, and I stumbled onto old Saints football cards on eBay. And Saints football cards, you can buy them for pennies on the dollar. Andrew, how many did I buy? I bought the 1971 Saints, the 1987 Saints, the 1990 Saints, Stanley Jean-Baptiste.
The whole set?
The whole set.
You got a Stanley Jean-Baptiste card?
Yeah. Garrett Grayson. Wow. I got a Jonathan Sullivan because I got the 2003 Saints.
What brand? Topps, Donruss?
Topps. So
Topps.
So we're gonna give away the person that has the best joke. Andrew, you can be in charge of that. The person who has the best comment in the chat room, we're gonna send them a random Saints player card.
Ralph, you need I don't know what the AA equivalent is for buying football cards, but you need to go. You have an addiction. I'm worried about you.
The first step is admitting you have a problem.
Yes, you have a problem, Ralph. And
Why?
Dave and I are here for you. Of your happy hour listeners. We're all here. This is a. Is not.
I needed a 1971 Al Dodd Saints trading card. Like, who doesn't need that in their life?
Now, all that being said, did you get Al Woods? Because I'll take that.
I don't know. He never made the team. Was he 2003?
Did you get his rookie card? Yeah.
I got a Dante.
No, 2003 he was Sean Payton era.
No, 2003 is Hazlitt, man. It's like Stahlpepper and Charles Grant.
Al Woods was
Oh yeah.
I need to look through. I was a big baseball card collector when I was a kid. I've got a lot of old sets. I even have some stuff. Yeah, I have some stuff from the 60s and 70s. But I got to check.
Oh,
to see
and
if
I got
maybe I have some things.
I got a Jason David card. That's supposed to be signed.
Don't you have Garrett Grayson also?
I do. I have Garrett Grayson rated rookie.
Does the back of the Jason David card have the stat that says how a hole in the zone was a better defense than Jason David actually covering the wide receiver?
I don't know. Maybe we can add that in.
Just write that on.
But so we got those. So get in the Discord channel because Andrew's got koozies to give away, and now I have like 50 some odd Saints cards to give. We'll give a couple away as prizes. So if you're a patron, get in the Discord channel. You have access. But back to the NFL and baseball starting up soon, basketball starting up soon.
Maybe.
And me and Andrew we're going to talk about it a little bit on the daily podcast, which you subscribe for later. But I want to talk about it tonight, too, they said no jersey swaps after the game. And they're going to...
Because that's the most dangerous fucking thing that ever happens in life when it comes to the coronavirus.
Yeah, especially
jersey swap. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, that is so much worse than anything I could ever imagine.
And then the players are going to do it anyway, and all these tattletale snitches on Twitter are going to tweet it out, and it's going to be like
it's going to be like Darren Rovell. Why don't you just say Darren Rovell? Okay, he is the number one. If anybody is if anybody is going to be snitching out players for jersey swapping, I'm fucking calling it now. The Vegas odds are already set, and you lose money if you bet on Darren Rovell because everybody knows it's going to be fucking Darren Rovell.
You got to bet $1.50 to win $1.
Look, I watched Brandon Browner play cornerback for the Saints, and I'm here to tell you that is way more dangerous in terms of social distancing than exchanging jerseys.
Well, I mean, just to be serious for a moment, I mean, my understanding of it from what I have read, purely scientifically, is that as far as what we know about coronavirus is that it's really not contaminated surfaces. It's really person-to-person contact, moisture droplets, air whatever, that kind of stuff. But it's not really so much like something like a jersey or a contaminated surface. Like, that's very unlikely. Really the spread of coronavirus, from my understanding, is really the person-to-person contact and staying 6 feet away from them. So, defensive lineman against an offensive lineman, you're going to tell me they're going to do that 60 times in a game, and you're worried about a jersey? These guys are going to be face to face, all up in each other's face for 60 plays for 3.5 hours, and you're concerned about them sharing a jersey. To me, that doesn't make any sense. Just like how in college football, it seems kind of silly to me that they're talking about extending the sideline all the way up and down the length of the field so that players and coaches can separate and space out. But it's just like, these teams, they spend their entire lives together. They practice together, they play together, they eat together, they work out together, they go to training camp together, they share rooms together. I don't know what they're doing during training camp this year, but I mean, like, they're a family, just like, Ralph, if you got COVID, or Andrew, if you got COVID, you can pretty much assume your family is probably going to get it because, you guys live in the same house.
That's true.
And I just feel like a football team is just one big family. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Everybody's going to get it. And, something as silly as a jersey swap, I don't know. I don't really see that being a big deal. But
well, they're doing the jersey swap. They're doing the new face mask too, Andrew. I saw the new version of the face mask that the NFL is trying to get mandated, and the players are kind of lukewarm on it, where it covers everything all the way down.
Yeah.
But the 80-man roster, if they go to 80-man roster, I have to redo my big board for the adopted son UDFA draft, because that's 10 potential less guys probably that I'll have in my pool to pick number one. So I'm really concerned about that. Who is the most likely person that the Saints might lop off of the 10 players that we might actually recognize his name, Andrew?
So you're asking me which UDFA is most likely to get cut that's not Joe Bacci or Calvin Throckmorton?
Yeah, like, what's the name? Like,
basically the question.
Throckmorton, throck out with your cock out.
Well, Blake Gilligan, the punter, gone. I mean, not going to work here anymore.
Oh, but there's so many Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, not going to work here anymore anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Mike.
I would say Adrian McGee, the LSU guard.
Oh, boo!
He's gone. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I said this, Ralph. We were talking about who would be the odd man out in a scenario like this, and I said if they only bring 80 to camp, one of the guys on that list that I would be worried about, off the top of my head, Dave.
Oh, no.
Sit down.
No.
Take a deep breath.
Don't say it. Don't.
Little Jordan Humphrey.
No! No!
Sorry.
Not my baby, little Jordan. No.
It's possible.
I'm sorry. It's okay.
Him and
little
Krishan Hogan are
It's gonna be
dunzo.
okay. Have another sip of your.
Actually, I'm out. I gotta go to the.
Your pink IPA.
No,
Yeah.
it's a sour. It was a fruit cup from Pontoon Brewery, and actually I'm out, so I got to go get another one. So y'all talk amongst yourselves.
Well, and here's the thing too that I think is going to be a big sticking point. The owners were like, "Hey, we don't know how much revenue is going to be lost or whatever. We don't know if we're going to have fans, so we need to put 35% of your salary for 2020 in escrow." And the players are like, "No, you fucking don't." So they've started to have the discussions over money, Andrew. And look, the NBA kind of got it done easily. Baseball, it dragged on and on and on, and they fought over it. How?
But that's how baseball always does.
That is.
It's nothing new.
Yeah.
It's like baseball's like we have a really dog shit product. You know what we should do? We should fight amongst each other and make it even worse. We should annoy the very little fans that we have and make our product even more unwatchable than it already is, because goddamn if I can't think of anything better than to run a mediocre product into the ground.
Well, that's true with baseball. But the thing is, my counter to that is the NFL, their collective bargaining agreement that they just passed, it barely didn't it pass by like the skin of its teeth, you know?
Yeah, but it's still passed, and you know why? It's because football knows they have a good thing. And on some level, I mean, sure, they're going to fight. There's going to be posturing. But at the end of the day, I feel like NFLPA, the players, the league, they know that it's the number one product, and there can't be a stoppage. They can't be baseball. They can't be these dumbass leagues that are these spoiled athletes, these that just can't figure out a way to get this shit on TV. Because you know what? Then this is what baseball has done forever, and it's how you drop from the number one sport in America to the number 4 sport in America. Where people stop paying attention, they stop going in the stands.
I will say this, JJ Redick for the NBA, he gets it. He told people on Twitter if he got 10,000 retweets that he would shotgun a beer when him and other Pelicans were playing on the golf course. And he fucking did that shit. He shotgunned a Bud Light, which was nice. So NBA players kind of get it, they're living in the bubble or whatever it is in Disney. But I do think that's accurate. But I do worry, Andrew, that it's going to be a little like the players and the owners. They're gonna argue a little. I don't think it's going to be as bad as baseball, but they'll argue over some stuff.
Oh, sure. Well, they always argue a little.
I mean, it's gonna come down to money.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about the tickets before with the Saints sending out a letter. I was talking to my mom today, and the thing is, we really, really want to go to some of these games, especially if they have like 15 or 20,000 people.
Totally, me too. I'm in the same boat. I said this at the very beginning. It's going to be, if they let fans go and it's like a limited capacity, it's going to be like a totally unique experience that you're never going to get ever again. Hopefully, we don't have to deal with this again next season.
I mean, I gotta say,
it's gonna be cool.
If they say like 20,000 people can go, and we got the chance to go to the Tampa game, I would want to go see that, because the thing is, like Dave says, it'll be a unique experience, and there's a 90% chance that this is your last shot to see Brady Breeze, Andrew. So. And I feel like with 20,000 people, especially if they tell you have to go into the stadium at a certain time and you have to leave at a certain time, I'd feel pretty safe about it, because I don't think you'd be around that many people, because they're not going to have Champion Square open and all that. So there's a couple of these games I really want to go to them, even if there's limited capacity. I'm with Dave. How are you feeling about it? You have to fly though, so it's a different calculus for you.
Yeah, I mean,
you have to fly too, Ralph.
Yeah, but it's just an hour for me. Or I could drive, Dave.
Yeah, you could.
How is an hour flight any different from a 2-hour flight?
I mean, yeah, the hassle is getting to the airport and figuring out the parking or the drop off or whatever, and then the getting through the security and the waiting in line and getting on the plane. Once you're in the air, I mean, that's the easy part.
Once you're in the air, you're in the air.
Just gave me the death stare.
Whether you're on the plane for an hour or two, it's the same shit.
That's a good point, Andrew. Good point.
So
circle gets the square.
Yeah, Ralph, you're a dumbass. Is what that boils down to. But no.
Nothing new there.
I probably won't go to a Saints home game this year, if I'm being honest. Like, just being from out of town, and I mean, I am a season ticket holder, and I'm hoping that things will be better and that I can make it to a game. And I come home for Christmas every year, so I'm hoping that I can come to Baton Rouge, New Orleans during Christmas time. And if I do, I would go to the games. But I don't know.
This is a good question from Fredo, and as Dave resituates himself, Dave, this is a good question. If you could only go to 2 games this year, what 2 games are you going to? I'm going to Tampa.
Not Christmas.
Not Christmas. I'm going to Tampa, and I'm going to Falcons. That's the 2 I'm going to. If you give me 2. Or maybe you know what? I take it back. I'm going to Tampa, and I'm going to Kansas City. Those are the 2 I'm going to.
So yeah, you took my thing. I was gonna say Kansas City for sure. And
Someone else took your thing.
Somebody. Yeah. Okay. Are we doing that now, or Are you just interrupting this whole?
I mean, look, you just said someone took your thing, so I was like, I mean, you can't set things up like that and not.
I would say Tampa Bay, so I could see Brady and the creamsicle, and Kansas City, since they're defending Super Bowl champions. Yes.
Yeah. So now we need to talk about something that happened to Dave and something that happened to Andrew in the past, and it's.
This is sponsored. Is this sponsored by Manscaped?
It is. It is sponsored by Manscaped.
This needs to be sponsored by Manscaped. I think this is. I think this is going up.
You gotta drop the Manscaped ad right now.
I think this is. I think this is going above and beyond our duty for Manscaped. I think this deserves something a little extra. I don't know, a little extra money or something.
Well, thanks to the 3 people that signed up using our code and get the 15% off of Manscaped, and tweeting at Manscaped saying, Preston and John, who said, "Hey, Manscaped, I listen to the Saints Happy Hour podcast and thank them for getting me money off my purchase." So we thank that Manscaped. Stay with us. We move fucking product is what I'm gonna say. Mm-hmm. But Dave and Andrew, you both have had vasectomies. Dave, you had one this week. How did it go? How you feeling? How the boys doing?
Yeah, I appreciate you asking. I mentioned Manscaped because Thursday I had my surgery Friday morning. It's very minor surgery, outpatient, 30 minutes, not a big deal. But like Thursday night, I was texting you guys because Manscaped has given us all these creams and sprays for your balls.
Yeah.
And part of preparing for the surgery is one, making sure that you've cleared the way for the doctor to do his work. So you've got to make sure everything's nice and clean and smooth. And so Manscaped, obviously, they gave us an electric shaver, the lawnmower 3.0. The 3.0. We all have the 2.0 and the 3.0, and I will just say the 3.0 is obviously much better than this.
Yeah.
So so I got that was a big help. It was a good thing that I was fortunate that we got this box when I did, and then I texted you guys. I said, should I like spray my area down there before my surgery so it smells nice and fresh? Like, I feel like that's the polite thing to do. So I did that. I went ahead and did that. So thanks again to Manscaped. The doctor didn't say anything. He didn't make any comments. So I don't know if it was appreciated or not. But no, Ralph, everything went very well. I'm on the road to recovery. I'm going back to work tomorrow. Everything seems fine. Thank you for asking very much.
Yeah.
Oh, so the funny thing was you have to. They give you a prescription for a Valium. They want you to pop a Valium like right when you get there or whatever. So you're feeling new. So I had to go to CVS to pick up my one Valium. Okay, I'm walking up there, and they literally
savage?
Give me,
come on.
They literally give me the orange container. You shake it, and it's just the one pill for 59 cents. I'm like, can I put this on my credit card, or do I have to go back to my car and scrounge my seats for change? Like, because I didn't know that it was only going to be 59 cents. Like, I feel like can they not just give me the pill? Like, it's the medical industry. Are they really losing money? Can they not just give me the goddamn pill? I just need one pill. Like, come on, for crying out loud. Anyway, that was kind of annoying to me, but so everything was fine. We're all good.
You guys having to do vasectomies, it made me feel better about having to pay $80,000 to have a kid through fertility, because I'm so old I don't need to have the boys snip.
No, this was a lot cheaper. This was a lot cheaper.
So In other news, the the Redskins, Andrew, team in your neck of the woods, are going to change their name. They're going to announce tomorrow that they're changing the name. That happened fucking with a quickness, right? Like,
Yeah, they're changing to the DC Redskins. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Correct.
no, they're just changing to the Redskins, and they're going to put a potato on the helmet. That's what it's going to be.
The Deadskins,
Yeah.
the Washington Deadskins. Look, I don't care what they change their name to. To me, they're always going to be chumps. They're always going to be a disgrace. It really doesn't matter what their mascot is. It doesn't matter if it's racist or not. They're still the worst. I hate them, and it's always going to be that way. I mean, I've told you the story, right? So I grew up in Europe, and I was an American
We
in
all
Paris.
know you grew up in Europe.
Yeah,
All right.
fancy
all
pants,
know you grew up
Mr.
in
Jude,
Europe.
growing
brag
up
thing.
among the
Mr. Fancy
elite.
Pants.
Jeez.
The
Oh,
creme de la
okay.
creme.
Oh, je ne sais quoi, mi amo Andrew Jude. Oh.
But my thing is, growing up in France, and I was in American schools, and my mom worked at the American Embassy, and all these kids were diplomats. You know, they were all American Embassy kids, and so they were all coming from DC.
Were they all
And
douchebags?
so I had to put up, as a kid, like when you guys were in New Orleans and you had to deal with Cowboys fans or the Falcons rivalry, I had to deal with, as a Saints fan, the Mark Rippon, the Hogs. Like, I had to hear Redskins fans talking about those douchebags while they were winning Super Bowls, while the Saints weren't winning playoff games, dealing with that mockery. So, like, I still hold that. And so, like, you know what? That franchise deserves every piece of sorrow and mediocrity and sadness and racism and whatever. Like, they deserve all that. So whatever name they pick, I hope it's just as bad, if not worse. I hate that team.
You do.
Tell us how you really feel, Andrew.
For me, it's always been Falcons, Redskins, and then like whatever else.
Do you hate? Do you think you hate the Redskins more than Dave hates Darren Rovell?
On par, similar.
I gotta say, it was pretty cool that Adrian Wojnarowski.
Darren Rovell is gonna be fucking like, he's gonna be like tweeting like if he sees somebody like sneezing.
Oh my god!
Like, God, he's just gonna be the worst this season.
He's gonna be like that. You know, if any broken rule that a team has pre-post,
somebody
stadium,
double dips their chip in the fucking salsa or something. He's gonna be all over that. Like fucking.
I swear to God, Art Monk, dude. Art Monk is like Eric Martin. He's like a good receiver in NFL history. But you listen to those guys when I was a kid, they think Art Monk is like Michael Thomas, you know?
Mark Rippon won a fucking MVP award is still the weirdest shit that ever happened. He was garbage.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
He was garbage. He was great for 1 year, and then he was garbage again. Like, you know, it wasn't even like.
And then I had to put up with us trading for Heath Schuler and then laughing at us all over again.
Andrew, we might need to divert some of the patron money to get you some therapy to work through your Redskins issues, which we don't have. Please sign up for the booze bundle. The Saints Happy Hour.
It is. The booze bundle is awesome.
It is. Thanks to everybody for tweeting out pictures and stuff. It's fantastic. You get Cruditatum, Forever Drew, the shot glass, the koozie. It's freaking amazing. You should do it.
Who's the worst MVP? Fredo asks. Mark Rippon or Matt Ryan?
I mean, Mark Rippon, because Matt Ryan at least has been consistently top 10, top 12. Mark Rippon literally was garbage, had an MVP year, and then was like 2 years later he was like off the Redskins team and was like bouncing around the league as a backup.
Think about the Redskins that we've gotten. We've gotten Heath Schuler, who has arguably put together the worst season in football history as a quarterback. It's up there.
He was on ESPN did a list of the team's worst quarterbacks, and Heath Schuler made the list twice. for the Redskins
Like,
and
yeah.
the Saints.
So we got Heath Schuler, and he put together one of the worst seasons I've ever seen. We got Albert Connell, and he stole $20,000 from Deuce McAllister's locker room. We got Chip Lohmiller, who is a Pro Bowl kicker for the Redskins, and was like 1 for 5 on field goals for the Saints, and then got cut. I mean, have we ever gotten a dude from the Redskins that was anything close to remotely decent?
That center that played that one game in 2017.
Laribius?
Yeah, Laribius.
Come on, Ralph. Ralph,
I was gonna say they gave us
your crown jewel. Then
I
I
mean,
rest
you
my
wanted
case.
a name. I gave you a name. You get what?
My crown jewel isn't a player, it's a play. They gave us
The meet you around.
Yeah, they gave us the fucking
They gave us the meet around.
So fucking worth it. Sorry.
Yes.
It's the greatest. I still contend that not necessarily from the standpoint of importance, but I think from just the standpoint of crazy football plays, that is the craziest play.
Lee Torrance came from the Redskins, didn't he?
Yeah, he had
Lee Torrance was mediocre. I tell you what, if any Saints fan can at me on Twitter, text me, whatever, find me on social media. If you can name one guy that played on the Redskins and then came to the Saints and was anything better than mediocre, I will send you a koozie.
And they took Gillette after we were done with him.
David Patton, didn't he play for the Redskins?
No, wasn't he from the Patriots?
He was from the Patriots.
He was better on the Patriots. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean it's bad, but the
see, I can't believe that I remember that. Like, how do I remember that? And you guys do that shit like every day, every fucking week. You like remember random facts like that. When I do I'm like, I'm like amazed. Like, how do I remember that? How did I remember that David Patton, who played on the Saints for 1 year in 2006, previously played for the fucking New England Patriots?
You're good, though. Dave. You're good. You're just your knowledge for the Saints starts
You're good.
later.
You're just not us.
Yeah, you just start later, man. Your memory it starts what 2000. 2005, 2006.
I'm like Drew Brees, and you guys are like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. At least, the Angry Ocho says at least they ended up with Junior Gillette. That's true. We did give him. We did give him.
Well, but that's once again, it's like the Redskins are poison, man.
That girl is poison.
You know, we only have a couple of questions. I feel like there's another topic that we wanted to hit on that we need to hit on before I fire up the take it to the top and we answer.
Oh yeah, I cannot wait! I'm so pumped.
Oh, that's what I wanted to mention, guys. We had last week. We had a great week. We had Larry Holder. We had the Mega Mora bracket where I spliced together every round. It's like 2 hours long. And I did a Drunk Saints history with Scott Prather. We did the 1998 season. We did an alternate history of what if Danny Werfel was good.
You guys like cutting yourselves.
Yeah, we do. When we did it alternate history, we did it like what if Danny Werfel had been good. So it was really weird. And
he went to the Redskins, did he not?
He did. He went to the Redskins and won games for Steve Spurrier. Which
yeah,
is weird.
He's like one.
Hey man, it's like one more than Schuler did for the Saints. So we had that. So that's a great week. If you didn't hear all the shows last week, go in there. And we have John Isner, who Andrew got, the number one American tennis player in the world. He's a diehard Panther fan. We had a great time with him Friday night. That's free to patrons right now. They got early access. So become a patron. You can get early access to that. The rest of you people don't get it until the middle of the week. But check us out. We have amazing freaking content on this show. So you know what it's time for now, Dave. It's time for viewer Twitter questions and Discord questions. So that means...
Yeah. What? Oh, there we go.
So...
Oh, my God, I love this. I just love
here's
this.
a question, Andrew. Who on the current roster would y'all think could turn in a movie career like 2020 Brian Bosworth? Who could be a movie star in the Saints' current roster?
Oh no, Andrew heard you. He's just listening to the music.
Yeah. Until you cut that off, I'm not answering. Because I'm in the zone. I can't speak when I'm listening to top-notch music.
The greatness.
Yeah.
Just can't focus, man.
Yeah.
Good. It's too good.
It's too good. I mean, Cam Jordan's got to be the answer, right? If you're asking me what guy on the Saints roster right now would be an actor in a movie doing his thing, from a personality standpoint, from just being grandiose, and it's got to be Cam Jordan. It's got to be.
This is a question from
Right?
Alexander, Dave. Biggest threat to Drew Brees' legacy, Aaron Rodgers, the Saints defense in the 2010s, or Eminem?
Wait, what was the? Oh, Aaron Rodgers. That's Eminem. Obviously not. That will
No.
be forgotten.
Alexander, you forgot the right answer. Bill Vinovich is the fucking biggest threat to Drew Brees' legacy.
That's a great answer, Ralph. But no, I would say just the Saints defense from fucking in 2007, 2008, and then in 2015.
Speaking of wanting to cut yourself, Jesus.
2016, all those defenses.
Ugh.
Yeah, Bill.
Andrew,
Vinovich,
this
so.
is actual football question
Yeah.
from Saints Ori. Are we expecting way more injuries this season due to the restrictions and delays in practice?
Take it to the top. Take it to the top. Sorry. Well, sorry, what? Please cut this off, man.
No.
I think that this season will be. I can't answer this. Like, I think this season is going to have so many flip scripts. It's going to be the most unpredictable season ever. There's going to be so many twists and turns just in terms of you don't know when like a team is going to be hit with 10 COVID cases where they're going to tell the NFL, hey, we need to not play this week. You need to give us a second bye, and we'll make it up back half of the season, whatever. Like, shit's going to get weird this year. And I don't know how to predict that. So, like, I can't answer this question, but all I can tell you is to expect the unexpected.
It's going to get,
By the way,
go ahead, Dave.
This kind of goes along with what Andrew said. I was listening to you guys talk on one of the weekly ones that I wasn't on, and I was just, while you guys were talking, I was just reminded, like, you know, at the time, I think we were incredulous that the Saints only drafted 4 guys, but I mean, in retrospect now, knowing what we know, I think that was totally the right move. I mean, having to have these guys learn the playbook and learn the system and the Saints way of life and how they operate. Having to only focus on 4 draft picks instead of 7, 8, 9, 10 or whatever, and just focusing on having those 4 guys and giving them the best chance to make the team, and not spreading yourself too thin as far as your coaches are concerned and that kind of stuff. I honestly think it was a genius move now, in retrospect. I just.
The mini Ditka from you, Andrew. The mini Ditka was the Saints were, as always with Loomis, they were ahead of the curve.
I mean, do you agree or no?
No, it's right. I mean, I just think, I think you're right in a general sense, but when you combine the Rona with the Saints just having a loaded roster, like, if they'd have drafted 8 guys, like, they don't have enough spots
and now
for
you've got
rookies.
and now you've got the reduced, and now you're talking about the reduced rosters too. So it's like, at this point, quality is way better than quantity.
Yeah.
We're gonna take it to the top.
Yeah, what happened? Is it still
my next dream for this podcast is that we get so big and popular that when we do a live show, our fans are so excited they dress up like the album cover of Morton Anderson and Brian Hansen, and they come in the all white short shorts and want to take a picture with us. That's my next. Somebody do that next live show, and we'll give
we
you.
might have to have that as our dress-up theme party for our next live show.
If you do that, you'll get all
That's
the
a good
free
idea.
swag.
So we should start doing dress up.
80s Saints
come up
garb.
with
Morton Anderson 80s garb.
Well, we can do like a different theme every week. That would be fun.
We could.
We don't even have to wear the pants part. We just have to have the top, from the waist up.
And
as long as we don't do an IPA week.
We can do it.
then
We can
I'd
do a
be
dress
out
up week,
in
and
that
then at the
scenario.
end of every show, we can decide.
They won't even bring him to camp. He looks like a star of the day for the Saints.
How do we not have a Saints happy hour beer yet? Like, I feel like that's the next iteration. We need to make that happen.
We do.
No?
Well,
What, you're gonna have like you're trying to get Port Orleans to have a Saints happy hour beer?
Look, it's not going to be an IPA, Dave. I hate
What is-
to disappoint you.
Can it be a stout? I like stouts.
I'd be down with that.
just as long as it's not an IPA, I'm down. Zach Streif, if you listen, he does occasionally when he's driving to work on the causeway. Make it happen for us. So, thanks everybody for listening. Sorry about the audio issues at the top. We got it fixed though. So for Andrew, for Dave, for Kevin who's MIA, thanks for joining us. Until next week, the bar is closed.